Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to study a very interesting topic. The second chapter, Interior of the Earth. Now, in your previous classes, you have already studied about the solar system, where is the place of our Earth, how it looks from outside. Its exterior part you have already studied. Now today we are going to study about the interior. That means what is inside the earth. You must have seen boiling of milk many times before. But today I want you to think about it as a geologist. What are your observations when you boil milk? Before boiling, the milk was in the liquid state. After it came to a boil, steam started coming out from it. After some time, a thick layer of cream develops over the milk. As you can see in the picture also, when the milk cools down, a thick layer of cream is formed. The temperature of the cream is lesser than the milk below. Thus, it can be implied that the creamy layer cooled faster than the milk below it, which remained hot and in a liquid form. A similar process occurred when the earth cooled down. The scientists unanimously believe that the earth was formed out of the solar system itself. Initially, earth was a gaseous hot balloon. It cooled down as it rotated around itself. The process of cooling took place from the outer surface towards the earth's center. As a result, the outer layer of the earth became cooler and solid, but as we move from surface to the core, heat increases, and at certain depths, the interior of the earth is semi-liquid. Man has always been inquisitive about what lies in the interior of the earth. Have you ever thought of that what is inside the earth? Yes, most of us we think that what must be inside the earth. Always we study about the earth, how it looks from out. But what is there inside the earth? Are there only stones or anything else? A direct observation of Earth's interior has not been possible as yet. Through various methods, the scientists have tried to estimate about the same. To infer about these, study of the materials coming out of a volcanic eruption and the seismic waves is most important. Matter coming out of volcanic eruptions consists of hot magma, you must be knowing this, gases, in this various types of gases are present, steam, when you have to make a project, many times children make volcanic eruptions. That time also you must have observed how the liquid from the hard mountain comes out with the gases, with steam. Yes, when lava cools and solidifies, igneous rocks are formed. Through the estimates of the study of temperature, density, gravitational force and pressure, the interior of the earth was understood. For instance, when we go deep into the mine, we feel an increase in temperature. Similarly, the magma coming out of volcanoes from the earth's interior is hot. Such estimates were made by the geologists. Several earthquakes occur in various places on the earth every year. Seismic waves are generated. These waves travel through the interior of the earth. The study of their direction and velocity helps us to estimate about the interior of the earth. Man has also tried to dig deep boreholes in the interior to know more about the same. Our earth was formed approximately 4.6 billion years ago. Initially, the earth was in the gaseous state. It started cooling through the process of radiation. The earth then liquefied. With time, the outermost part of the earth cooled first and became solid. This outermost layer of the earth is called the crust. Even today, other planets of the solar system are in a gaseous state. While going from the Earth's surface to its core, major changes occur in temperature and density. With respect to these two elements, the Earth's interior can be divided into following layers. There are three main layers of the Earth. The first is the crust. It is the outermost layer. The next layer is mantle. And the innermost layer is known as core. The crust, mantle, core are the three main layers of the earth. And further, these three are subdivided into other two divisions. Let us see. The sublayers of crust is continental crust, oceanic crust. The layers of mantle are upper mantle, lower mantle. Core is divided into two parts again, outer core and inner core. Remember this chart. Let us see in the diagram now. As you can see, we will start from the crust. Crust is the outermost layer where we stay. We stay on the outermost layer of the earth. Then as we move inside the earth, there is mantle, then more inside outer core, and the innermost layer is the inner core. On page number 11, you can see an activity is given. You can perform that activity at home to make your own model of interior of the earth. Let us study the first layer of the earth. That is the crust. As you can see in the picture also, the uppermost layer of the earth's surface is in solid state and is called the crust. The thickness of the crust is not the same everywhere. On an average, it is 30 to 35 kilometers thick. The thickness of the crust below the continents is from 16 to 45 kilometers. 40 kilometers under the mountain ranges and less than 10 kilometers under the oceans. As we move deeper under the surface, temperature increases. After that, the rate of increase in temperature reduces and again increases in the core. At the center of the earth, the temperature is around 55,000 to 60,000 Celsius. You can imagine how hot it must be. The crust is the thinnest of all the layers. As it is shown in the diagram also, it is very thin layer. The other layers are more thick than the crust. Crust can be divided into two sub-layers. See in the diagram, continental crust and oceanic crust. First we'll talk about the continental crust. The continents are mainly composed of silica and aluminium. Because of their high proportion in this layer, The layer was earlier known as Sial. The density of continental crust is 2.65 to 2.90 grams per centimeter cube. The thickness of this layer is approximately 30 kilometers. Granite rocks are mainly found in this layer. Next is oceanic crust. This is the second layer of the crust. It is made up of silica and magnesium. It was earlier called Sima. This layer is approximately 7 to 10 kilometers thick. The density of this layer is 2.9 grams per centimeter cube to 3.3 grams per centimeter cube. In this layer, basalt and gabbro rocks are mainly found. You can see in the diagram the oceanic crust, the continental crust. So we can say that the continents are a part of continental crust, and the oceans which are present on the earth, they come under oceanic crust. Now let us see the elements found in various layers of the earth's interior, from lower density to higher density. That means on the topmost layer there is low density. As we move ahead, as we move deeper and deeper, the density increases. Silicon, aluminium, silicon, magnesium, nickel and ferrous. You can see the diagram also alongside. The next layer is mantle. Below the crust lies the mantle. Here in the diagram you can see the first layer is the crust, and as we go down, mantle starts. Mantle can be divided into two layers. Upper layer, it is shown in red color here, and lower mantle, it is shown in orange color. The upper layer is more in liquid state. Here one finds magma chambers. It is through these chambers that magma comes out on the earth's surface during volcanic eruptions. This layer is also known as asthenosphere. Now what is asthenosphere? Here down I have given the meaning. Asthenosphere is the denser, weaker layer beneath the lithospheric mantle. It is shown in the diagram also, you can see. Epicenters of deep-seated earthquakes are usually found here. Mantle begins at a depth of around 42 kilometers from the Earth's surface. The internal energy released due to endogenetic movements occurring in this layer is responsible for mountain building, rifts, volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, etc. Endogenetic means arising from or relating to the interior of the earth. In this layer, it is inferred that the temperature at a depth of 2400 to 2009 kilometers depth would be around 2200 degrees Celsius to 2500 degrees Celsius. Here, there is a sudden change in the structure and density of material. It is estimated that this layer extends up to a depth of 2870 kilometers. Average density of this layer is 4.5 grams per centimeter cube, and it increases with depth. Increasing pressure is the reason behind this. The density of lower mantle is about 5.7 gram per centimeter cube. Let us talk about now the core. Core is the innermost layer of the earth. The core starts from around the depth of about 2,900 kilometers from the Earth's surface. The part of the Earth's interior extending from the mantle up to the center of the Earth is the core. The thickness of the core is about 3,471 kilometers. This layer can be divided into outer core and inner core. You can see in the diagram here, the outer core is in yellow color here and the inner core. Immediately after the lower mantle is over, the outer core starts. The outer core extends from around 2,900 kilometers to 5,100 kilometers. The secondary waves cannot pass through the core. They get absorbed in this region. This has led the scientists to believe that the core could be liquid or semi-liquid in nature. The primary waves travel through this layer, but their speed reduces when passing through this layer. The density of outer core is 9.8 grams per centimeter cube. The temperature of the liquid outer core is around 5,000 degrees Celsius. The difference between the temperatures of the outer core and inner core gives rise to vertical currents. The Earth's rotation gives them eddy, that is circular motion. Electric currents develop in these spiral eddies of liquid iron and thus magnetic field is generated. It is sometimes called the geodynamo too. This magnetic field of the Earth is functional even outside the Earth's surface for quite a distance. As a result, a cover develops around the Earth because of the magnetic field. The Earth's atmosphere is protected from solar winds coming from the sun. The magnetic field thus developed around the Earth is called magnetosphere. This is the fifth and an important sphere of the Earth. In your textbook also there are diagrams given, figure 2.3, about Earth's magnetosphere. Now let us know what is geodynamo. The dynamo theory proposes a mechanism by which a celestial body such as Earth or a star generates a magnetic field. The dynamo theory describes the process through which a rotating, convecting and electrically conducting fluid can maintain a magnetic field. Over astronomical time scales, a dynamo is thought to be the source of the Earth's magnetic field and the magnetic fields of Mercury and the Jovian planets. When you perform experiments with magnet, you must have observed that the magnet creates magnetic field around it, and when you bring any iron particle, any iron object, it gets attracted to it. So same thing happens with the Earth also. A magnetic field is created due to the waves produced outside the Earth. The solar wind is a stream of charged particles released from the upper atmosphere of the sun. There is no about the inner core. Inner core extends from around 5,150 kilometers to the depth of around 6,371 kilometers. It is the core of the Earth which is in a solid state. The density of this sphere is around 13.3 grams per centimeter cube. Iron and nickel are the major elements found here. Therefore, this layer is also called Knife. As the materials in this layer are under extreme pressure, the inner core is in solid state. The temperature here is almost equivalent to the surface temperature of the sun. As you can see in the diagram here, a magnetic field is formed around the earth, and here also, due to the solar winds also, magnetosphere is formed. Observe the velocity curves here. The left curve in figure A, this is your figure A, shows the velocity of secondary waves. See, here secondary waves are given, while the curve on the right shows primary waves here towards the right side. There are many changes occurring in the curve of the secondary waves, as you can see in the diagram here. The curve drawn with the help of dots shows the average velocity of the waves. The curve of the secondary waves seems to have ended around the depth of 2,900 kilometers. Changes are visible even in the curves of the primary waves. The velocity of the primary waves increases according to the depth till 2,900 kilometers. The velocity of secondary waves is around 6 to 8 kilometers per second around the boundary of the outer core, and the curve has stopped here. These waves do not enter the core. At 2,900 kilometers, the velocity is around 12 kilometers per second, but when it enters the core, the velocity reduces to 8 kilometers per second. On the basis of these curves, the scientists have inferred the densities at various depths. Now see the figure B. The density curve of the Earth's interior is shown in figure B. Red curve in figure B shows gravitational force at various depths. Gravitational force increases at certain depth from the surface and then reduces according to the depth. At the center it is 0, as is visible from the curve. So students, you must have followed that as we move deep and deep inside the earth, the density also increases. There is one question asked on this page 14. Use your brain power. It is asked over there that as you go in the interior of the earth, guess what changes will you notice in your weight. So can you guess what will happen when you are going deep and deep inside? The weight will reduce. As we are going inside the earth, the weight will reduce. It will become lesser and lesser. On the surface of the earth, when we are on the crust, our weight is the maximum. As we move away from the crust, if we move above from the crust, even that time our weight will become lesser and lesser. It will reduce. And when we are going below the crust also, that time also the weight will reduce. I hope you have followed the lesson that what is there inside our earth, as we know that it is told many times, and we know that earth is the only planet where life is present, where life is possible. We all are living on the outer surface of the earth, and due to the gravitational force, it is possible for us to be on the ground. We can safely stay on the ground. Though the earth is rotating on its axis, though it is revolving around the sun, but we can stay firmly on the earth due to the gravitational force. Inside this beautiful earth, the different layers we have studied today. Okay students, now let us move on to the exercise. Question number 1, pick the correct option in the box. This question you have to do it in the textbook itself. From question 2 to 5, that is 2, 3, 4, 5. All these questions you have to write it in your classwork. I'll give you the answers now. Question 1, mark it in the textbook. Students, for question 2, if the answer is false, then only write the explanation for it. That correct the wrong statement. If it is right, don't give explanation. Don't write the explanation for it, that why it is right. It is for your knowledge. For diagram, don't write the explanation, only draw the diagram. For the first one, the interior of the earth, you will draw figure 2.2. Write the answers point-wise. Students, for question 4, draw the diagrams. The interior of the earth, you will draw figure 2.2 from your textbook. Magnetic pole and equator, you will draw figure 2.3b and write all the answers point-wise. Do not write in paragraph. For question number 2, tell whether right or wrong. For this question, if the statement is right, then in the answer you can write only the word right. If it is wrong, then you give the explanation, that write the correct statement for it. Followed. Complete your notes as soon as possible. Thank you students and have a good day.